What's up, sports bettors? We have Thursday night football tonight, but we also have a lot of college basketball, okay? And I'm going to give you a bet to pregame Thursday night football, okay? So this game starts at 6:30, and as I always say, you should always be hunting for value. Being a sharp sports bettor is like being a day trader. You're looking for value, and you're also trying to place as many profitable trades as you can. It's no different as a sharp bettor, right? I know you may see on some sportsbook Twitters, the way to get rich sports betting is placing parlays. Those are sportsbook Twitters, right? They're not trying to teach you how to actually make money off them. The way you make money sports betting is you recognize that every bookie sets lines independently, and then you hunt for value. So as an example, in Marshall, Miami, Ohio, you can get Marshall minus 225 on PointsBet. But you can also get them minus 274 on Caesars. So a very unsophisticated bettor, a square bettor, would bet on this minus 274 when you need to be placing bets with value, right? You have to be betting on teams at minus 225 when that's where they're best offered. So regardless, let's get into my bet. I think you guys are really going to like it. And again, you're playing a detective as a sharp bettor. So let's get into the first pick. And as I always say, I do think it's helpful to note in every video, so I do ride with you guys on all these plays. So any bets I've given out in videos, or on Twitter or on YouTube Shorts or on TikToks, whatever it is, I ride with you guys. The ups, the downs. Some days we have more plays on underdog fantasy. Whatever it is, I'm just giving out the things I'm betting where I'm finding value. So let's go ahead and let's get into this pick. So the play I have is over 137 points in Kansas City versus Kansas State. 1.94% profit margin. And what you'll notice is you can either track this automatically or you can track it manually. So now with this integration we did with certain sports books through a company called Sharp Sports. So if I head over to the bet tracker, well, I need to go to the main page. But what you can do is you can sync your sportsbook accounts. So if you kind of click on this, you can't do it for every sportsbook, but what's cool about it is it will let you sync, 6 or so sportsbooks. These are available. And I recommend doing it at least for a couple sportsbooks. It's free to use the OddsJam bet tracker just so you can see your profit, right? Most people don't track their bets. So most people don't actually know if they're winning or losing sports bettors. You really don't know until you place tens of thousands of bets. It's really hard to know if you have an edge until there's a very large sample size. If you win 5 bets in a row, you still could be the worst sports bettor of all time. You flip a coin 5 times in a row, it'll show up tails, 5 times in a row, 2.5% of the time. That doesn't mean the coin is more likely to show up on tails. It just means out of those 5 flips, it showed up tails 5 times in a row, right? So as a sharp bettor, all you're doing is looking for value. There will be variance, there will be winning streaks, there will be losing streaks, but you want plays where you're getting plays like this, right? We're taking over 137 in Kansas City, Kansas State at minus 110 odds on WinBet. Highest profit margin play for, the requirements I have available, for the sports books I have set. DraftKings has this minus 140, 10bet minus 140, Pinnacle minus 129. So this is why you can make money sports betting, because every bookie has different odds. And what OddsJam does is it just kind of takes all these betting lines, for every market from every sportsbook and just shows you the plays with value, right? It just shows you the plays with an edge over the sportsbook. And there aren't many, it's not like there's a lot. If you go to my OddsJam, there's like 10. Out of the millions of odds on sportsbooks, there's 10 bets that beat the vig, beat the juice. Sportsbooks have this advantage on us as a sports bettor where they charge a spread. They charge the vig. They're like car dealers. Buy a car for 10 grand, sell it for 15. It's no different in sports betting. Bookies charge the vig, charge the juice. So what you need to do as a sharp bettor is remove that vig, remove the juice. So for example, on DraftKings, they're pricing this at minus 140 on the over. So if we go to a no vig odds calculator, DraftKings has the over minus 140, the under plus 100. So obviously they think the over should be favored. So the true odds, according to DraftKings, would be minus 116, right? Removing the vig, the true odds is minus 116. Same with 10bet, right? They have the same odds. Minus 140, minus 140 here. So we're getting minus 110. So we're getting better odds. We're getting improvement to the no vig line, to the no vig odds. So that's an example. So this play looks incredible to DraftKings' lines. Then Pinnacle has this minus 129, plus 104. Pinnacle's the sharpest bookie in the world, so we put more weight into their lines. So they're pricing this at, as a minus 115 favorite. And we're getting it minus 110. So we're getting better odds. You're always getting better odds than the no vig odds. And what this no vig odds column does is it kind of just like takes the average of the market, putting more weight on sharper books like Pinnacle. Right? And it's a little more complicated than that. But long story short, you can literally put in DraftKings lines into a no vig odds calculator as well as Pinnacle. And it becomes very clear that hey, yeah, we're getting a ton of value being able to get this at minus 110. Then if you click into the odds for the game, you can see other sports books. Like DraftKings is cool because they offer all these alternate lines. On DraftKings, you can bet the over 139.5, the over 138, whatever, right? Most sportsbooks, you can't do that. They just have one line for a game. Like on WinBet, the line's 137. And what you're going to notice is all the sportsbooks that only offer one line, they have the total a lot higher, 138, 138.5, right? So we're using all this market information to be like, yeah, WinBet is asleep at the wheel. We found a play with an edge where we're beating the vig, beating the juice. And you're not going to get rich overnight sports betting. But what you need to realize, and, I harp on because it's important, is this is a 2% profit margin that you're getting back in, I placed this bet at 5:30. So I'm getting a 2% return in by the time the game's over, it'll be 3 hours. 2% return on capital in 3 hours, pretty insane. Stock market returns 8% a year. We're getting 2% in 3 hours. You get 2% a day. That's 60% a month if you have an $1,000 bankroll and you're placing 2% EV bets every day. And you can use a Kelly calculator to try to figure out the optimal fraction of your bankroll to wager. More the merrier, right? If a bet's plus EV and you have high confidence that it's really good, like looking here, it's very clear WinBet is asleep at the wheel. They're literally 1.5 points off from the rest of the market. Insane. We're getting minus 110, over 137. All the other bookies have over 138.5, minus 110. Ballybet has it over 139.5, 2.5 points higher. So we're looking at all this data in the market and being like, yeah, WinBet clearly is asleep at the wheel. This is a positive EV bet. You can make money sports betting. It's a skill-based game like poker. You can make money. Is it easy? No. Does it take time? Sure. But it's not hard with OddsJam, right? The EV tool, you literally just hit the bet in bold with a circle around it. And, I started out betting $5, $10, and you'll see your bankroll grow considerably because, again, 2% a day is 60% a month. So it's just about dealing with the ups, the downs, the variance. And once you can do that and you understand the math and the strategy, you're on your way to big profits, like the rest of OddsJam customers. So hopefully this was helpful. Let's make money.